Hello, and welcome to HITC 7s, everyone's favourite YouTube channel. As you may or may not have noticed in recent times, I don't know when this video is actually going to come out, so it might be a few days, might be a week, or even slightly over. But over that unspecified period of time, you may have noticed that there have been slightly fewer videos going up on the channel. My sincere apologies for that. As opposed to the 5 videos a week that I usually do these days, it's been every other day, which I'm sure has been quite traumatic for a lot of you because it's probably what you live for is those uploads 5 days a week. So I apologise for that, but basically I'm having my first time off in, well, over 2 years, and that includes bank holidays. Not looking for sympathy, just justifying time off to myself, really. But yeah, so I'm going away for a week. I'll probably already be away by the time this video comes out. I'm going to Greece. I'm going on the 21st. Could have died in a plane crash by the time this comes out, in all truth. Keep it light. That's the spirit. Hopefully I won't have died in a plane crash. They are unlikely, but if I do now, this video looking back will seem pretty dark, won't it? You can see why I normally use a script and don't go off script with these videos when I do these. But yeah, if you've been a subscriber to the channel for a while, you'll know that occasionally I make these quick fire questions. Basically it's a Q&A, but I try to answer the questions quite quickly because when I did traditional Q&As, I spent like half an hour answering each question and we only got about 1 question in. So yeah, that's the aim. I've got my cue cards here, which have been very kindly assembled for me from all of your questions on Twitter and on Instagram. If you don't yet follow me on Twitter and Instagram, the username on both is just at HITC7s. Should you wish to take part in future quickfire questions, apologies if I don't get to yours. I'm going to do as many as possible of those that have been assembled for me. I haven't seen most of them. I could see the top one, and I saw a couple of silly ones that got a lot of upvotes. Don't know if they'll be in there, but yeah. I'll just put some sort of game show music on now, and then I'll cut straight to me answering all of your undoubtedly thought-provoking, fascinating, and enlightening questions. Okay, first question. Easy one. Why do you support Hull City? I support Hull City because, well, I didn't really have a choice. My dad supports Hull City. They're my nearest football league team, both when I was born, when I lived with my mum and dad, and where I live now. And both of my grandparents supported them, and probably their dads before them, who knows. So yeah, and I wouldn't have it any other way, just to be clear. Are football commentators on BT and Sky Sports actually of a good standard? Well, I think that's quite a personal question, but I would say some, in my opinion, some are and some aren't. I won't say examples of each because it's quickfire and that would be cruel. Who is the best teenage footballing talent in the world right now? I'm going to forget someone with a question like that. I would say the first player that comes to mind is Ansu Fati. Obviously he's had a nasty injury, but I thought he looked phenomenal before that. And I suspect he's young, he'll bounce back, as long as he's got his head screwed on and doesn't get another nasty one. Camavinga at Real Madrid is obviously a talent. Greenwood at Man United. I really like Nuno Mendes, the fullback, Portuguese fullback, but yeah. I'll say Fati, but I could easily be forgetting someone, and apologies if I am. Who do you think will win the championship this season? Fulham. Will Haaland pass the likes of Messi and Ronaldo in his career? Well, the likes of is doing a lot of work there, isn't it? Because I think Messi and Ronaldo are in a bracket of their own. I don't think there is the likes of them. So maybe pedantic, but you know what I mean. I think no, he won't surpass those two, which is no criticism of him. I think he's amazing. And I would love it if you prove me wrong, but obviously what those two have done is pretty remarkable. And I do think Haaland had a brilliant career, but perhaps just falls slightly short of that. Who would win in a fight to the death battle between a grizzly bear, a silverback gorilla, and a Royal Bengal tiger? There always seems to be one of these sort of animal fight. I don't know if that's the same person every time who thinks that I have any expertise in this area. I know, I've never set them up against each other, but a grizzly bear beats a silverback gorilla because I mean, it probably weighs about twice as much. It's just going to crush it. I mean, the Romans used to do these where they'd get exotic animals and make them fight each other, and they stopped putting grizzly bears up against things because they just annihilate them every time. A Royal Bengal tiger, maybe if it snuck up on a grizzly bear, caught it unaware, maybe, but overall it's the grizzly. Okay, not one on the reverse nomenclature. What is a place a non-Brit must visit if they travel to the UK? Well, Hull, obviously. Kingston upon Hull, the Kingstown. Probably, I'd say Hull. Completely objectively. Most difficult video to research. Loads of them. Nightmare. I don't get any sleep. But I'd probably say the recent one about the lightning strike in DR Congo. If you've seen that one, you will know that it's probably the only video where I haven't... It was left very open-ended. Give it a watch if you haven't. It's fantastic. What music do you listen to? All sorts, but mainly Bob Dylan, and I love Nina Simone. But yeah, loads of stuff. Blues, like a lot of blues music. Yeah, Dylan, number one. Which Premier League player gives you the most joy to watch? Good question. Most joy to watch. It's boring, but I probably would say Kevin De Bruyne. I love watching De Bruyne, but there's other exciting players. You know, even someone like Alan St. Maximin. Someone's fun. He's fun to watch. Was that the most joy? Nah, I'd say De Bruyne. Joy, not fun. Your favourite film? The Big Lebowski. What's the beef with Bullard? Bit of alliteration there. I assume you mean that I've said the odd sort of disparaging comment about Jimmy Bullard, including when I was sat near him at the Euro 2020 final. I can't say, probably for legal reasons, the specifics, but all I'll say is he was paid an awful lot of money by Hull City at a time when we were in a relegation scrap, and to put it kindly, I don't think he showed the professionalism that even the sort of base level of professionalism, even if he wasn't being paid an absolute fortune. So yeah, arse. What is your favourite music album? Another music one. It would be Bob Dylan, unsurprisingly, and it would be Freewheelin'. It's my favourite album. What would you rather spend the day at? Right, yeah. Would you rather spend the day at SeaWorld with Steve Bruce or Alton Towers with Alan Pardew? I did see that question. I know that's from. I mean that is actually a moral maze of a question, because I can't stand Alan Pardew, but I do think SeaWorld is completely immoral. So if it was the other way around, if I can say I would like to go to Alton Towers with Steve Bruce, which isn't a phrase that I ever expected to say, then that would be the way around I did it. If I have to answer it as it's put to me, I'll go to Alton Towers, but I'll leave Alan Pardew and I'll just go on the rides. Your second favourite sport? I think I've had this one before. It's tennis. I don't know if I said tennis before, but right now it's definitely tennis. Recently started playing tennis, and with Emma Raducanu, that amazing story. So yeah, I'm vibing tennis right now. What is a video that you made and love but didn't perform well? Loads of them. I think that they're almost all exquisite, and it's a travesty that they don't all get millions of views, but specifically terrible in terms of views that I enjoyed. I made a video, I think this one did really bad. I made a video about football in Iraq during Saddam Hussein's reign of terror, and specifically his son, Uday Hussein, who oversaw, among other things, Iraqi football in that time. Not light entertainment, it's dark viewing, but I thought it was good and not many people watched it. And also recently there was the one about the documentary about Rudi Gutendorf, the coach who managed more teams and more countries than anyone else, recently passed away. Incredible story, but yeah, I think, not even for me, I think more people should watch that, just because it's a good, interesting story. And that one is kind of heartwarming as well as dark. Favourite non-Hull City player growing up? That would be Zinedine Zidane. Yeah, I used to have play with a 5 on the back of my shirt when I played football because I was big into Zizou. Didn't play like him, fortunately. What do you think about Turkish millionaire, in brackets, maybe low-key billionaire, close brackets, Akın İlaçali wanting to buy Hull City? Now, firstly, apologies for pronouncing his name wrong. It's one of those where when I read it on the internet, I just go in my head. But I don't know that much about him, and I'll believe it when I see it, but I hope it happens on the grounds that some people say, oh, be careful what you wish for. With the Alams, of course, it's possible that someone could be worse, but it's pretty unlikely. I would roll the dice with almost any old bloke off the street. So yeah, I hope it happens. I doubt it will. Do you think Jorginho deserved his UEFA Best Player award? No, I don't. As brilliant as he is, and he is brilliant, the award is supposed to be for the best player in Europe that season. Was Jorginho the best player in Europe? No. But if you watch my video about awards in football, then you'll know that I don't take them too seriously. Besides Lewandowski, Ronaldo, Kane and Haaland, I think I see where they're going with this one, who is the best striker in the world? I'm going to forget someone again and look stupid. Off the top of my head, depends what you call a striker. I think from the examples you've given, we're talking out and out centre forwards. I'm not considering someone like Mbappe or Messi or anything. Probably Benzema, I think. He's a very underrated player still. Yeah, I'm forgetting anyone. Lukaku. I'd pick Benzema over Lukaku, personally. I think gives you a bit more all-round. But yeah, if I'm forgetting someone again, my apologies. Thoughts on the Irish guy tipping the Tigers for automatic promotion? I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know how he's feeling at this moment in time about that prediction, but hey, I like it. I like it. I don't know if it was a joke or what. My initial thought when I saw it was, if you've ever seen that meme where it's the woman like, cocaine is a hell of a drug. That was my first thought. But yeah, I like the ambition. I'd be pleased if he was right, but I doubt it. Top 5 defensive midfielders in the Prem in order, right? Quick fire. Again, I'll obviously forget someone. I would say maybe Fabinho, top. Perhaps. I still think Fernandinho is exceptional, but obviously he's struggling to play maybe 2 games a week now. Declan Rice, maybe Wilfred Ndidi, those 2 different players. Maybe Rice is going to kick on even more. I really like Wilfred Ndidi. What's that? Fabinho, Fernandinho, Rice, Ndidi. Depends whether you count someone like Jorginho or Kante. I'm talking proper defence midfielders, in which case I'm struggling to think of a 5th. I like Alan at Everton, but there's probably someone better that I can't remember. In their prime, who do you think was the better player, Virgil van Dijk or Alessandro Nesta? I think Alessandro Nesta, who is a top 3 centre-back in my lifetime, at least. Much better than Fabio Cannavaro, but most people... Cannavaro won the World Cup and the Ballon d'Or, didn't he? So it gets a bit distorted, but Nesta was a superior centre-back, in my opinion. What is your favourite bit of football memorabilia that you own? I don't collect too much of that type of thing. I have Gianluigi... No, it's not me. I have Gianluigi Buffon's autograph from Barcelona. And I have a Hull City shirt signed by all the players, and I have a shirt signed by JJ Kocher from his time at Bolton, which I got after he'd signed for Hull City, which was supposed to be match worn, but unless he was about 25 stone at Bolton, I think I was mugged off on that front. But yeah, those are a few. Who in the current Hull City squad do you think will become Premier League level? You know, we've got a very young squad, so it's always hard to tell. Players surprise you for good and for bad. I really like the look of Dijon Bernard, who Manchester United fans might be aware of. He's on loan from Manchester United. I suspect we won't be signing him on a permanent. I really like the look of him. Still raw, got loads to learn, and I wouldn't put my mortgage on it or anything, but I like the look of him. Greg Doherty in midfield, I think he's still fairly young, who we got from Rangers. He's probably got it in him if he gets the bounce of the ball, so to speak. Yeah, some people might be tempted to say Keane Lewis-Potter. I wouldn't rule it out, but again, nor would I be confident about it. He's got a lot to learn. If Hull City were in the Champions League, right, wishful thinking, which teams do you think they could beat, and which group would they realistically qualify out of? Not sure if that's a joke, but I would say to both questions, well, none. I don't think there'd be any team in the Champions League, and I certainly don't think they'd get out of any of the groups. But maybe that's from the Irish guy who thinks that we're going to get automatic promotion, and if only I was so positive. While it's early into qualifiers, has the US potentially wasted their best generation under their current manager? I won't be as well versed as a lot of the American subscribers to the channel will be with America's plight, but I am slightly surprised by their struggles, because obviously they have got a talented group. But I would say, have they wasted their best generation? I think it would be premature to say that, because some of these players like Gio Reyna and stuff, I think most of the US's best talents are like between 17 and 21. So no, I think their best generation in terms of this cohort of players, and even some younger that aren't in there, they're going to be peaking in 8-9 years. So not yet, but obviously you want to get a flavour of success, and it's not good that they're struggling. But no, I don't think they've wasted it yet. How many quickfire? How many different countries have you watched a football match in? Not all that many, I would like to more. England, obviously. Scotland. Portugal. Few games in Portugal. Germany, 2006 World Cup. Belgium. I saw Hull City play in Belgium. Is that it? Oh, France. I've seen a game in France. Yeah. I could be forgetting something. It depends what you call a game of football, doesn't it? I was talking there specifically about sort of a decent level. If you had to manage any championship team that is not Hull City, which would it be? Well, Fulham, got the best players. Easy life. I mean, expectations are high, but I reckon I could get Fulham up. Yeah, I'm going to put that out there. You can choose one. Hull City win the Premier League, or England win the World Cup. Right. I mean, throughout almost all of my life, I would have said Hull City winning the Premier League without a second's hesitation. I really love this England team, though. I'd love to see them win it. And also all the pelters that they take. I'd love to see them. I would pick my answer, which again isn't that quick fire. My answer would be England winning the World Cup, but not in Qatar. I'd rather Hull City win the Premier League than England win it in Qatar. It's not. I'm disregarding this World Cup. In the one after that, which is US, Canada, Mexico, 2026, that one. And I'd love to be there, but we're going very far down the road there. Favourite memory playing football? Well, good question. My favourite memory playing football. I haven't played for a good. I mean, I've got funny memories in terms of anything decent that I did. I once scored a really good goal. It was like on the volley, hit it perfect, clean into the stanchion. But there was only two people, me and a friend of mine. And whenever I tell anyone, he likes to deny that it was as good as it was. So that's probably a bad memory due to subsequent events. I remember the first time my sister ever came to watch me play football. I took a corner and it went straight in. And on the way home, I was like, I do that every week. That was a good memory. But yeah, not many. I'm not that good at football. Who is the best winger in the Premier League? Mohamed Salah, I think. Boring answer again, but I think it's true. The pros and cons of a constitutional monarchy. There is no quickfire answer to that. Is that the pros are supposed to be that it's create sort of a separation between a symbolic head of state and politicians, so that you don't have too much deference and reverence for your elected officials. The idea being that in America, people have to respect the office of president even if they don't like the president, whereas here we can... I don't think it holds much water. I think that's the best argument in favour of it, but if you look in America, I don't see too much example of them not being able to criticise politicians from either side of the aisle. And I don't think it has withheld power from our politicians. So yeah, I guess that would be the con. The con is that, in my eyes, is that I don't really believe in hereditary rule, that you're born into a position. I think we got rid of feudalism quite a while ago, and I think that's a good thing, but some would disagree, and those are your pros and cons in a quickfire sense. What do you think the punishment should be for people who are offensive to players on the internet? Well, obviously death by stoning. I mean, it depends. That's a joke. Depends what you mean by offensive, doesn't it? Offensive just means, I guess, that someone took offence. You know, you could say, oh, I thought X player Lukaku was rubbish today, and he could take offence to that. I don't think anything should happen to you, particularly, just because you've upset Lukaku. I think maybe the question means sort of if you are, you know, threatening violence or inciting violence or some form of racial hatred. All of those are obviously crimes and should be investigated as such. I think it's a bit of a red herring, all the online social media stuff. I don't think that's the root cause of these problems. I think maybe look at, again, like politicians and establishment media, newspapers tend to be more virulently racist than these trolls who send monkey emojis, who are, obviously, that is bad, but maybe look a bit higher, is all I would say. Quickfire, I mean, that could be a video all of its own, but that's... Is there a specific type of food you can't stand? Yes, there is. That technically would answer the question. What is it? Sushi. Can't get into it. I'll keep giving it a go, but whenever I've tried it, it's not clicked for me. Favourite way, another foodie one. Favourite way to cook / eat a potato. Personally, I like roasties. That's from the questioner. That's not my answer. Although I do like roast potatoes. I'd probably agree. Roast potatoes or chips. Probably. Yeah. Start one, bench one, sell one. Robertson, Tierney, Chilwell. 3 very good left backs. I would sell Ben Chilwell. I like him, but I think the other 2 are better. The other one's different. Basically, if I was Liverpool, I'd rather have Robertson. If I was Arsenal, I'd rather have Tierney. I think Robertson's perfect for Liverpool. But in a general team, if you're just picking for me, not picking for Liverpool, I would start Tierney and bench Robertson, because I think Robertson is perfect in a system, Jurgen Klopp system. But yeah, I think Tierney's better, and I think he might have a higher ceiling. Which of the current owners of any sports team would you most of all like to make a 1-for-1 switch with the current Hull City owners? As I said, I would happily roll a dice for almost any of them. I mean, I'd bite your hand off to have Mike Ashley in, and I'll say, to give you some indication. But if I could with anyone, then it would be the Leicester City owners. Or owner, sadly, I suppose no. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his surname. But yeah, I think they've done an unbelievable job, and don't think I'm alone in being very envious of how that club's been run. What is the most commonly believed footballing myth that makes you angry? There's a lot of myths that make me annoyed. Angry is a bit excessive, isn't it? But I suppose the idea that footballers are all thick and that they're all like greedy, money grabbing, you know the drill. Just through work, having spoken to a fair few, I can't speak for all of them, I'm sure some are absolute beep, you know, but most of them are just decent people. They're very realistic. They're You know, they don't like feel sorry for themselves when they're down. They always say, you know, I didn't play. You know, they feel like football's quite meritocratic. When they're doing well, they deserve to. When they're not, they don't. Most of them come from like pretty working class backgrounds and give back a lot more than other people in perhaps their income or wealth bracket. I'm sure if you did the actual research for that, you'd find that that was the case. I'd be very confident that that's the case. So yeah, I think they get a bit of stick. Obviously, if they're being an arse, then they're being an arse, and they deserve to be criticised for it. But yeah, that annoys me a little bit. And also, there's a lot of sort of misunderstanding. Well, quick fire. Who is the most frustrating player to watch right now in the world and at your club? The most frustrating... Oh, I've got an order coming here. Right, can we have some silence now, please? Aside from me, anyway. Right, audio testing, let's have that stabilised. And me, am I stable? Not emotionally. Right. Right, as you can see there, I did return, albeit emotionally unstably, after the delivery man came, but to be honest, he totally ruined my flow. And then I realised the video was already getting on for half an hour long, and I figured should probably just call it a day there. So I hope you enjoyed it. You probably didn't, but if you did, hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on for HITC7s. I'm sure I will see you all again shortly once I'm back on UK soil and with my trusty microphone and a notepad. Oh yeah, and you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram via the username @HITC7s on both platforms.